I think lately we've had a lot of members kind of saying, okay, it's, you're talking about delegation, structure, and, I've got a small team. I don't necessarily have a manager, some of them. Or there's only a small team of 2 and, the team don't really want to do what is being asked of them in a way. So, for example, let's take an example of the stock take or the stock control. We've had a particular member who was saying that, I'm asking to work on it as a team. You're telling me to delegate, and actually they're just really not wanting to do it. And dragging their feet and not even doing the stock take when they're supposed to do. So what do I do? How do I manage that? How do you manage that? I think you need to know. It's not easy, but I think you need to know your team. And I think you need to know what the capacity that they are able to support you. If stock take is a nightmare, ultimately not everyone's going to enjoy stock taking and stock controlling. Not everyone can count.
Or be good at it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think that is what it boils down to, is understanding your team personalities and what makes each of them tick, what drives them, what they're interested in, and really sit down and talk with them and say, these are the jobs I have to delegate, and I'm looking for team members to take on X, Y, and Z. So what out of that do you think that you would be good at? What could you turn your hand to, or what out of those could you try?
But do you think that sometimes, especially nowadays, that a lot of members are, or a lot of staff rather, are kind of saying, well, if you ask me to do that, I should be paid more, or I'm going to lose on my commission. So therefore, why should I? There's a big thing on that, isn't it? Why should I do that when I'm losing out on my commission? And I should be, cutting hair, or I should be, doing treatments, and you're asking me to do that. I think ultimately you can't force someone to do something they don't want to, because it's going to be done in a bad way. You're not going to feel aligned to it. You're going to feel uncomfortable. This particular member we had, she ended up having a small admin, but an admin person, 3-4 hours a week to help her on some key tasks that she needs to do. Yes, it's an extra cost, but it also showed the team that she was listening to them.
Yeah, and also when you say it's an extra cost, okay, it is, but you're not pulling the team off the floor to do the job.
Exactly.
However, if you're quiet, then it's a different story, because you want to utilise the team. So I think that's different. You have a list of jobs that you can delegate when the team are quiet. But if there's a specific role that you want to delegate, sometimes team members like to do that kind of thing, and they won't mind so much that they're going to do an hour a day or something doing something else, because it breaks up their day as well. So you're right in the fact that actually there's no point in pushing somebody to do something that they hate, but actually just embrace the people that want to embrace it. And the ones that don't, and the ones that just want to come in, do job and go, because some do and they don't want the involvement in the business and all of that kind of thing, the extra involvement in the business as such, then I think let it be, because you get different characters in a business. With my business, I had some of the team, absolutely, they wanted anything they could get their teeth stuck into, because they wanted to progress in the company and so on. Others just weren't interested, wanted to come in at 9, go at 5 or 6 or whatever time, and that was it.
But I think you can always create a team culture where perhaps, and we do that when we do the management to leadership program, where we assess the team personalities and what kind of type of characters they are. So maybe they're not going to be committed to a certain task that perhaps is maybe taking too long or whatever, or they're not really interested, but maybe they could coach someone. If it's someone senior, they could coach a junior to be, I don't know, how to do a certain task, or I'll go back to stock control, so I can think right now, or reception duties perhaps, let me show you what I do, and there is a sense of responsibility and a sense of ownership, even though they don't want to get fully involved, if that makes sense. I think it's how you approach that team culture in order to not have someone that comes in, I do my job, I go home.
Yeah.
I think there's a fine line there, because then you're allowing that kind of type of behaviour to, oh well, she can or he can do nothing and that's okay.
Absolutely, but then there is another element of that sometimes when you're trying to flog a dead horse, it's like, and as long as they're doing their job in a sense of that and it's not maybe unfair to the others because maybe the others want to be involved. So actually so you're kind of embracing the people that want to. And sometimes, because I remember I definitely had a couple of people like that just wanted to come in and do the job, and they were very good at their job, and they brought the business in money. And so, you know what? Fine.
Yeah, I used to get the team no matter, and I made it very clear on onboarding and on anything to do with their staff journey with me was very much, look, everybody will do a staff meeting at some point or another. You'll be asked to do a staff meeting. You're not going to be on your own. You're going to be with someone else. You'll be, and it'll be perhaps you're amazing at massage. So you're going to show how to do a massage. And it becomes a team effort rather than just delegating a team meeting to them and they don't really want to do it. Yeah. But actually that's a team culture that we input
and that's lovely.
Business.
That's really nice. And actually if you start like that, then that's how people expect it to be. Yeah. I think it's like with anything, change is very difficult to implement and for people to accept. So when you're trying to make that switch where maybe you haven't delegated before or they haven't been expected to do anything before and then all of a sudden they are, you know what it's like, they're like, sorry.
Yeah, what do you mean? Can I get paid an extra hour?
Yeah, and you're like, well, no, because I'm already paying you. This is
and you're quiet, you have 70% occupied all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a bit of a juggling act, I feel, that you can delegate, but maybe it's small bite chunks rather than a whole big project. Yes. Some team members love to do things like events or maybe get a bit more involved into the networking element to things. Some of them, it's a big question, isn't it? If they come in, they don't get involved with anything. Is that the team culture that you want and you're allowing? If you feel it fits and like you said, everyone else is happy, then why not? But if you feel it's just not really what you want, then are we allowing that? Should we be allowing that? Thank you for joining us. We really enjoy sharing our thoughts on various topics. If you have a burning question, simply comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button to keep up to date with each new episode.